And welcome back, everybody, to the challenge, the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying New York spider on the face of the earth. Wait a second.
Wait, what?
This isn't New York? I'm not in New York, right? Where are... Nope. Oh, my bad. Hey, welcome, everybody, to the Fandom Zone. It is General Zod. I thought I'd try my best Peter Parker impression, but it would have been like, oh, Mary Jane, I love you. Tonight we got some great stuff. We got Fandom Zone news. We're going to be talking about some topics that go together well, like peanut butter and jelly. We're going to talk about Depp and Heard, but we're also going to talk about Brad and Angelina, because here's the thing. These two cases are more connected than you guys might think. Whilst Angelina isn't in the same arena as, Amber abusing Johnny Depp, there was some plays, some lies that he perpetrated in the media to use the Me Too movement. And we've dug up some facts, some great stuff about these two cases. So before I get started, let's see who we got in the chat with us tonight. Welcome, Geekicidal Tendencies. Welcome, Justice for Depp. Welcome, Selena. Welcome, Sherry. Welcome, Justice for Depp. Welcome, Trish.
Did you see that stream that she's doing earlier?
Who?
Justice for Depp?
Oh, yeah. Well, come geek some? Yes, I did. Yeah, it was an amazing stream. She also had somebody in there trolling. I saw. I didn't put anything, but Kristen, welcome. But I was like, I'm so sorry. I bring pop culture with me wherever I go, and apparently wherever, even if I'm just lurking, because I wasn't feeling good at the time, so I was just lurking in the chat. But
No. Don't let him fool you, people. He had nothing to do with me being there, other than the fact that you were the person who connected me to all those other people. That's it, guy. I was there because I was tagged in a tweet, and I was like, what's going on here with this? So I clicked on the link, and I was like, look at all of these wonderful people in the chat, because, I don't know, it's like 90% of the people that are here right now were there. Not Timon, though. He wasn't there. He's an original.
Humility One, welcome. Kristen, welcome. Elizabeth, welcome. Welcome, folks. So good to see you here. It is so great to have everybody here. And of course, we have our fine panelists. You guys already know pop culture, so I don't have to introduce him. He's the universal troll. He will troll all of your
What are you talking about? Everything I say is sincere.
And we have the man himself, the one who created the greatest dictator of all time. Myself, I'm talking about. Father Zod, welcome. How are you?
Good. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. You're coming in loud and clear.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, everybody knows our show tonight's going to be some comparison between Brad Pitt situation went on with Angelina Jolie and what happened with what is happening with Johnny Depp. But there's only one difference, and the fact of the matter is that when it's proven fact now that Angelina Jolie was having an affair with Johnny Depp when she originally broke up with Brad Pitt.
What a whore.
When they were married. Yeah. and it's like I'm trying to figure out, is there anybody that Johnny Depp hasn't been with?
Me.
Johnny Depp. Okay.
No, that's because he was too busy with Kevin Spacey. At that time, he was golfing with Spacey.
That's right.
Didn't have time for JD. Shame on you, sir. I personally.
Hey man, that's when he still had his club membership.
You know, I was thinking about. It is so obvious that Amanda Heard is really a nasty person. She's a narcissist, and she has zero empathy toward anyone. She's dragging down. She was dragging Depp down into to severe drug abuse, using him to boost her career, claiming being abused without giving a thought about what it would do to him and what it could cost him. And matter of fact, what it has cost him. And that's a real shame. That tells you everything you have to do. And what it's also done is it's taken a lot away from people that are really abused. And because now people don't, they look at this and a lot of people are like, who are we to believe anymore? And unfortunately, like 90% of the women that say that they've been abused by men are not lying. But this does not make them, this isn't good for women. I mean, she's just a horrible person. There's an example, not only she was in a relationship with a woman named Tanya Van Ree. It was her lover. It was her lesbian lover. And a police officer seen her beating her up, and then
interesting.
Her assistant that no longer works with her now has claimed that she told Amanda Heard a story about her sexual abuse that happened to her when she was young. And Amber Heard stole her story and put her name to the story. And these are just like, and then there's a hairstylist that said that she claimed that she had 2 black eyes. And the following day, she went to have for a hair appointment, and that gentleman came out and testified that she came there that day. She was happy. She had no black eyes. So, I mean, she's been caught in so many damn lies.
Amber Heard's never been with a black guy? She had no black eyes.
No, black eye. Yeah. So,
I just
wanted to get away from Ray Rice. Okay.
I wanted to highlight this comment.
Okay, let me. I'm sorry, read that, Lee. I apologize.
No problem. Diamond Knight says, and yet she has countersued for $100 million when she's not even worth $10 million. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, and put up Sweet Chastity. I like that name, Sweet Chastity. Put that up. Okay, so she was at an airport, and she saw all this going down. Talking about when she was having a fight with her lover, the gay open cop, and then he accused her of being homophobic and what's that word, Lee? Come on,
misogynistic.
Oh,
very good. And he blew that right
I've
away.
been called it enough on my page, apparently, for my Captain Marvel.
That is why. That is why she was arrested. And on top of that, she has just recently. She was talking about Aquaman 2. Now there's 1 million, as you know, that is 1 million people that have signed that petition against her to be out of it. And here's the scary part, and here's why she's really worried, because that still haven't started shooting yet. There's nothing that they have to lose, and Jason Momoa is really frustrated because he believes at this time it's her that's slowing the production down of everything, and that is bringing too much unnecessary publicity to Aquaman, and pretty much is going to sink it before it even gets to the theater. And I just wanted to mention that. Do you have anything to counter on that, guys?
I mean, here's the thing.
You want me to counter that? No.
Counter that. Counter the heck out of it, PB.
PB, let me. No, I'm curious. I want to see PB the challenge bit. Can you make a counterclaim to any of that?
Oh man, You want me to
Play
argue
devil's
for
advocate.
Amber? Oh my
Yes.
God.
If you argue for her, and if it's a good one, she will massage you.
I don't want to get a disease.
Like oh man.
Like that does not seem like something that would be fun to deal with. Then you got to explain why you got it, and you got to be like, oh, well, I defended Amber Heard. And they'll be like, you got what you deserved.
You know, her hairdresser basically said, I guess it's not her hairdresser anymore. He said that the words that he could use to describe Amber Heard is classic bully. That's what she comes off at to him, a classic bully. To her, the workers around her, her assistant, she attacks everybody. She's continuously aggressive, and she's just mean. You know, so, and this is what, you know, it's not one or two people saying it. It's a continuous thing.
Yeah, that's the thing too, digging into this. I know when you first started, right, you were coming from a perspective of not following it like me or the other great people in this chat. And then when you start,
I remember what I said. Yeah. I remember what I said to you. I said, I asked you if you had a life. I said, that's not a life. I mean, who gives a shit what happens? I'm sorry. Who gives a poop? What happens?
No, but then when you start digging into it, a lot of people and some of these great people here in this chat too, they've gone through these domestic violence situations. And when you have the biggest slap in the face is when you have someone portraying to be something they're not, when there are people who are supporting each other in this community, when there are people gathering together and talking with each other, and we're having a great time in these chats, right? And you have this faker, you have this phony portraying themselves as something they're not. That's where this outrage gets. And she doesn't even understand it when she's doing it. She's like, oh, they're trolling me. Oh, these bots. It's not about that. It's not like a Star Wars thing I followed. It's not like another fan thing where you can go, oh, you're just being a weirdo. You don't like change, whatever. Screw you all. I like my Star Wars to stay the same. That's not the point. Anyways, the point is that this touches a nerve on actual serious real life issues. This is people who have gone through terrible, horrible things, and this horrible human being is using and manipulating the system. She's piggybacking off the tragedy and off of the horrible things that have happened to real people. These are real people's lives. They've really gone through it. They've really gone through the most terrible thing you can go through, and God bless them, they've come out the other side and they can call themselves a survivor. And this witch is going around claiming to be a survivor, but she's not. And it's disgusting.
Yes.
It's absolutely disgusting.
And Lee, if you want to...
They went through a Republican presidential primary?
No, don't talk politics. No talking politics.
I'm not talking politics. It's a joke.
I know that. Yes, the whole election was a joke. If you can pull up that article I have there, I appreciate it, Lee.
Okay. Let's
tonight
read.
Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. And as you know, the two biggest stars in Hollywood, if you want to think about men that are about the same age, and they're my age. They only look a lot
all
better
the
than me.
stars on that boardwalk were the same size.
Right? Well, so tonight we're talking about Brad Pitt and also Johnny Depp. And this article is called How Brad Pitt and Johnny Depp Inadvertently Became Poster Boys for the Me Too Counter Movement. And it's a very interesting article. Yeah.
The counter movement known as the truth.
And now the things that Brad Pitt got accused of is not nearly as serious as Johnny Depp, but there was some things. There was an incident on a plane where they had to land a plane, and Brad Pitt was asked to leave the plane because one of the kids that they adopted, and God knows when you adopt these kids and you don't know where they come from, you don't know what you're getting inside that package. And so this kid basically, and he said it was at the bequest of his mother, made false claims that his father was being rough with him and yelling at him and abusing him. So Brad Pitt basically left the plane at that time. And this was right before they started filing for divorce. And so now they're talking about, you got two actors. And here's the thing with these two actors. They have many, many women that they've gone out with. And all women say the same thing about both men, that they're very, very good men. They've never been mistreated. As much as that dog in the background is about to be mistreated. So
you have no idea. That lots of words I want to say right now hasn't learned his damn place yet.
Put him out. You're up in Green Bay. Lock his ass outside. He'll learn real fast. Okay, so this
he loves the snow. He's a butthole.
So here's we go. We got the violent man abusing women. Women are men layering women are cultural archetypes that have repeatedly been embedded in our literature, films, and in real life. There is a reason for that. Okay. 1 year after the Me Too movement took off, NPR conducted a poll on social movement. It showed a country deeply divided on sexual assault and harassment. About 40% of the survey takers felt the movement had gone too far. According to NPR, follow-up conversations revealed that these respondents meant what they meant by too far. They cited a rush to judgment, the prospect of unproven accusation ruining people's careers or reputations, and a bandwagon effect that may prompt some to claim sexual misconduct for behavior that doesn't quite rise to that level. That pretty much describes what's going on right now, wouldn't you say?
Oh, without a doubt. Like this, I've been waiting for this counterclaim to come by because look, the theory of Me Too is great, wanting to help, because most people forget in that Me Too movement, it was for all victims. It wasn't just female. It was supposed to be female and male victims to have a voice. It was both sides equally balanced. But like so many things in life, like so many good movements that start, you get them hijacked and weaponized against their selves. They start losing their identity. And I'm so glad that you brought up an article that's actually calling this out, because this is what a lot of people are feeling. This is
and
what
you go, and here's and remember, this is an NPR story, which is very liberal to the left, and they're even coming out and saying this. And as Me Too has become a flashpoint for gender wars, the norms and the rules of behavior in the workplace and outside to come up with heated discussion and debate. However, even as men are being questioned about their gender's questionable behavior norms, there is no doubt that 2020 women can also be seen as aggressive, violent, or make the first move because of a certain degree of economic, financial independence. They have more power than women in other previous generations. They can also abuse their power, as male victims of powerful women have proved. And I really like that, because basically it's saying that people in power, no matter what their sex is, can be abusive because of the power and the position they're in. And I would think that's pretty much describes Amanda Heard to a point. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. This is the exactly what this article is quoting. She says, and I don't know if you listen to the audio tapes, but in the audio tapes, she said that she would destroy. She came out. She said, no one's going to believe you. They're going to believe me. Okay. I can destroy you. And Depp said, no, we're going to destroy each other. And you know what? It is kind of true, wasn't it? Right? Because by doing that, Depp went head to head with her, and she didn't realize that when you make a claim like this, eventually, if you've got lies like not donating to charity and things like that, all of that stuff gets pulled into the press, and her infinite lack of wisdom, I don't think she realized how much people were going to dig into this. And yeah, that's exactly what she did. She saw a power play. She thought she could get away with it, and she, bam, pulled right in.
Yeah. And you know, and that's a great point, Lee. And what you're really talking about too is that Amber Heard here's what she didn't understand, that this is going to hurt her more than Johnny Depp. In the beginning, it hurt him more. And now it's starting to come around. People dislike her
who
so much.
Who keeps calling her Amanda?
Amber. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's funny.
That's
That's what I read in the chat. Witchy one said, I love that he keeps calling her Amanda. I hear she hates that.
Good. So Amber, so here you got Amber Heard. She seemed to forget one thing. Yes, she is an actress. Yes, she was an okay actress, but she's not Meryl Streep. She's not, Bullock. She's not, a big star. And she doesn't, her career, she's young. What she's done is she's basically thrown a big, she's going on the highway and she's just thrown something right in her way and she's having a hard time getting around it. This is all, if she could do this all over again, I don't think she would ever do this, because she's going to lose a lot of parts now that at one time she would have gotten, because of the fact that a lot of these producers and directors are close to Johnny Depp, and we have to remember that. Well, let me go. Women, mostly white and from privileged backgrounds, now also hold powerful positions and are often equally successful as their male counterparts. So now we have power couples, men and women, with almost an equal amount of fame and money and resilient power. Within such marriages, the balance of power is usually much more or less even, especially in Hollywood. This was the case with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and the Johnny Depp Amber Heard doomed romance. Both Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were at the height of their power when they married, enough to pull strings to stop tabloids from printing homewrecker stories about Angelina Jolie that most women in such situations are subject to. But after their messy split, it has become a pitched battle, both with Jolie and Pitt cranking up their PR agent influencer game to get the public on their side and win a custody battle. Similarly, when Depp and Heard got married, Depp was an older man. Heard was 20, he was 52, Heard was 29, and even changed her sexual orientation according to some. It brought Depp a boost in terms for his macho creed. Heard, with her bright future ahead of her, also got a boost in terms of visibility because of Depp's celebrity. So in a sense, the power within the relationship was balanced. Balance of what the two were getting out of it, from purely a cynical POV, whatever that's.
Whoa, we're still talking about Angelina Jolie?
No, now we jumped over to Heard and Depp.
Oh, okay. I thought that we were still talking about her. I thought they were getting children out of it.
Well, there's more children there. I mean, they got twins, and they got like 6 kids, and half of them are adopted and half of them aren't. But in both cases, these specific cases, the power balance is visible, equal between the man and women. The women are not obviously powerless like a lot of Weinstein victims are, and have the capacity to fight back. Yeah, and a lot of that's true, because these women that Weinstein that was pure rape.
No, exactly. He was always going after somebody who was just trying to break in or it's just broken in, so it's always somebody who's on the first or second rung of the ladder. Whereas in both of these relationships, you might not be on exactly equal playing field, but it's pretty freaking close.
Yeah, and if anybody ever deserved to go to jail, that's the man that deserves to spend the rest of his life in jail. He's just a horrible human being. Both Depp and Pitt have long, deep histories of being good guys. This is the key. Pitt rescued Paltrow from Weinstein's abuse and is known to be charming and charismatic. I'm sorry, lady. This is where you get to suffer. With a wide circle of friends to vouch for him, even if joeli won't. While his drunk rage against Maddox, that's one of the children, is part of the record, it is one slip up versus a lifetime of good guy behavior. So that's what this show's about. This is what these two guys have in common. Pitt and Depp made mistakes, moment mistakes, after having a lifetime of being known as being a certain way. And that's what's saving them, actually, is that everybody knows them to be a certain way. Heard's aggressive style of acting and speaking is not typically feminine behavior, while Depp, with his laid-back public persona and no conflict attitude, actually displays his conciliatory and placatory behavior usually ascribed to women. So they're trying to say that he's kind of feminine, but I don't think that's the case. So in some ways, both these celebrities' marriages are zebras. The balance of power in these relationships is not what you see typically in the world around you. They are very specific individual cases born in rarefied and elite hothouse environments of Hollywood. Would you guys like to go on from there and say anything about that?
No, but I would like to say, Carrie, I only have the Peter Parker look because the cowboy hat is in the unicorn's car, and a villain had a flat tire, and she needs earthly vehicles. Can't fly like me. So I had to sub out. I had to sub out my hat for the show.
Which means you're just too afraid to show your what, newly placed plugs or what?
Yeah, I got them Nicolas Cage plugs. How do you think I was looking up? I talked to Cage. He gave me his hair extension guy. He does some great work.
Well, as long as he doesn't give you his tax bill.
No.
Okay, so here's where we'll wind this story down, but this is an important part. But at the same time, they represent the worst fear of people who think the Me Too movement has gone too far. Depp and Pitt have become the poster boys of the Me Too backlash because they are idolized, wronged men, the collateral damage of the gender wars. It is ironic that Heard told Depp no one would believe him if he was being abused. The violent men abusing women are men leering at women, are cultural archetypes that are repeatedly been embedded in our literature, films, in real time. There is a real reason for that. Sexual predatory behavior or abusive behavior to keep women in line has been culturally sanctioned behavior for centuries within the patriarchal framework that asks men to be dominant, aggressive, and one to make the first move. The root of this powerful forgiven culture sanction stems from patriarchal systems that put men in power positions. That makes perfect sense.
Whoa. No, men don't want to make the first move because of the patriarchy. Men want to make the first move because of nature.
Yes.
So I take umbrage with that statement.
Yeah. But what you're saying is absolutely right, PB. But I think what they're trying to say here is up until about 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't like that. Think about it this way. How many people stayed married in the 50s and 60s that had no right of staying married, but did because it was known not people just didn't get divorced. They just stayed in there.
All the Christians.
Yeah, all the Christians, right?
That's right.
As for power,
We don't get divorced and we don't use birth control. Boom, 12 kids. Way to go, Catholic.
okay, let's finish this off real quick. There will be no rule book for them, and the power will affect them adversely. So while the Me Too movement started as a way to call out powerful men like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, it should maybe change its focus to toxic and unacceptable behavior that powers engenders. I love that. The ending of that powers engenders. And what would you think that would mean, Lee?
For me, see, I've got a sketchy view on this, because from the angle I've always looked at this discussion, it's been through the media that I love and the forced gender swapping and things like that. But from how the article was laid out and pretty well written, I would assume that would be empowering both
Sports
genders,
Center.
Right? It would be empowering.
That's my phone.
It would be wanting to empower both men and women, and that's the key. I think that's the heart of the article, is that this whole thing was started as a shift of power in Hollywood within itself. I mean, this whole thing, when you think about how the rise of the Me Too movement happened, this was all in their backyard. They started this, and they pulled in the average consumer and tried to brainwash us into thinking we're the misogynistic, sexist, whatever else, right? But you guys were the ones who started it. You guys had Harvey Weinstein. For years, Hollywood chose to ignore the horrible things that were going on to these actresses. They chose to just call it business as usual. So when there's a big spotlight on their horrendous actions, now they want to flip it and they want to say we're the ones who aren't looking at these genders right. Get a clue, guys. We've wanted equality for years. I don't go out into the public, look at a woman and go, hey, baby, you want to come home? Want to come with the general? Come see the Fandom Zone? That's not what I'm saying. No one else is going like the archaic thinking hasn't been a thing for years. But Hollywood had perpetuated this as if it was, but they didn't think, you know what? If we go down this road, if we choose to give these narcissistic actors and actresses this kind of power, flip it either way, what could happen?
Talking about narcissists.
The problem.
Talk about narcissists. PB, can you
what's
explain
up?
to Lee what's going? No, can you please explain to Lee what's going on in the chat? What he's missing right now? Because you just pretty much put one out. You know, I've been reading this stuff coming, and then you answered one of them. Somebody said that it's flying. It's flying by Lee, and he's not catching on. And then you wrote, he's a fine Bonnie. He's a villain. He's fine, Bonnie.
Yeah,
he's a villain.
Yeah, he's fine. He misses all kinds of stuff in the chat, and then he goes back, and then he thinks that he knows what's going on, but then he doesn't know the context of what's going on in the chat. So then he's double lost. It's extra fun.
Well, you know what's actually very good about this subject? I've noticed there's quite a few people that have written so far that they've had parents that have been married 40, once 48 years, and they said their parents should have never been married that long. And one just said that after 40 years, their parents just finally broke up. So that's the difference.
Oh,
with the.
I mean,
speaking of chat, hold on, guys. I'm highlighting something.
Go ahead.
Two people I want to highlight.
Who could it possibly be?
My girl Bonnie B. Okay. I didn't forget you. Hi. And we have the glare. And if you guys haven't checked out the glare,
he didn't forget you. He just glossed over you, Bonnie.
And if you haven't checked out the glare, go check him out.
He was on a diatribe.
Okay, guys, one at a time.
So,
I'm sorry, I'm on a slight delay.
So, oh my God, the Glare is here. Good to see you, Glare. Go check out his current channel. He does stuff on true crime and calling people out on ridiculous things that they do with doxing and stuff. So go check out his channel. He's got some great content he's dropped in the comments. So thank you very much.
I just want to. Isa Mello has written some really good stuff, and I just want to get one that they wrote. Basically, there is one for me. I just chose not to get married. Good point. Never to get married. And then Elizabeth says, my parents are a rarity. They divorced and were grown-ups about it in the 60s. Yep. And you know something, that's a good point, Elizabeth, because my parents broke up in the early 60s, and we found out years later why. And then they got back together and made 7 more kids. They should have never done that. And and
holy fuck.
So the next video that we're going to play here, you know how
a video.
Well, yeah. We had videos, and we find people that defend Johnny Depp and talk about what kind of person he is. This one is a very famous actress, Gwyneth Paltrow, and she is going to be talking here about Brad Pitt when they were dating. And I'm going to start this right now. You ready, Lee?
Yep.
Did you share the sound?
Okay, yes.
And then I really kind of stood up to him. I told my boyfriend at the time,
Brad Pitt,
who,
by the way, I love him for this.
I love him for this too.
You told him, hey, Harvey just did something really weird. And Harvey's moves are weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Here's a guy he's like a dad to you.
Yeah, I was shocked.
When you tell Brad says, fuck this guy, I'm going to go over and confront him.
So what happened was I told him right away, and I was very shaken by the whole thing. And I had 2 movies. I'd signed up to do 2 movies with him.
Were you afraid that the movies would be canceled? Or
I
you would
was
be
afraid.
Yeah, sure, because this was a good thing.
And Brad Pitt, we were at the opening of Hamlet on Broadway that Ray Fiennes was in Hamlet, and Harvey was there, and Brad Pitt, it was like the equivalent of throwing him against the wall, energetically. It was like.
Were you afraid though? Was it really, great guy, Brad Pitt, for doing that. But at the same point too, it's your story. It's your relationship with Harvey. As most guys do, they take action.
Right.
When you come home and say, Harvey just did a weird thing to me, I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe you weren't even looking for that. Like he took it upon himself to confront Harvey.
It was so fantastic because what he did was he leveraged his fame and power to protect me at a time when I didn't have fame or power yet.
Right. Wow. It moves you.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Oh, you must have just, I guess part of me was like, well, who's Brad Pitt to take up your cause? You didn't tell him to do that, but at the same point,
oh my gosh,
it was very heroic.
And Harvey was never inappropriate with me again.
Wow. I just like Brad Pitt sticking up for you.
He's the best.
Wonder what he said. Did he ever tell you what he said to Harvey?
Yeah, because he came back and told me exactly what he said.
And was he like, fuck you.
Yep.
You ever lay a hand on my girlfriend, I'm going to kill you.
He said, I'm going to take this pineapple, shine it up real nice.
Stop.
Kill you.
Let's hear this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Come on. You don't got to hear the whole thing before you put in there your little story. Okay. Okay, Lee, we can get rid of this.
You mean Zod?
Lee.
I don't know who this new fellow is.
Okay, thank you. Zod. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. What a terrible guy, right? And then there's all of these rumors. What a horrendous guy. He sees his girlfriend at the time being harassed by this other guy. and he goes up there and he defends her honor. Gosh, that Brad Pitt. You know what? We should cancel Brad Pitt. What a horrendous guy. He's Johnny Depp levels of evil. Gosh, I can't stand that. I can't stand this guy doing the right thing and defending his woman. What a jerk. Ugh, that just angers me. That angers me.
You know, and the same thing's and the same thing's going on with Marilyn Manson now. Now, Marilyn Manson, I don't know if you guys knew this, he is the godfather to Johnny Depp's child, Lily Rose. Did you know that, Lee?
I didn't realize he was godfather. No, that was something I was going to dig into later after this, because I know there's some fishy stuff going on with that. I can't put my finger on it, but there's.
Well, he's the new guy being accused with little evidence, and you know, this is the new guy, you know, and it seems like it's becoming more and more. And you got to remember, not many people can get in Harvey Weinstein's face when Harvey Weinstein was running everything. But the one actor that could get in his face was Brad Pitt, because when Brad Pitt was in his prime, Brad Pitt may have been bigger than. Let's ask this. Who's a bigger actor, Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp?
Ooh, that's good. Both of them at that time?
I mean,
Ooh,
I would say
one.
Brad Pitt. I mean, Brad Pitt is bigger than all of the other 10 oceans put together.
Yeah. When you think about that movie, who really makes that? I got to be honest, okay? That's one of George Clooney's better performances, but I honestly say in that movie, Brad Pitt was really my favorite character out of all of them. I don't know why.
Now, Geeko Seidel says Depp. Now, this is the great thing when you compare Johnny Depp and if you compare Brad Pitt, it's going to be a 50-50 split. 50% of the people are going to say Depp's bigger. 50% of the people.
I would say, as far as superstar status, Brad Pitt is a more well-known household name, whereas Johnny Depp, I think, has more acting talent, as in his repertoire is far wider than Brad Pitt's is. Like, you're never going to see Brad Pitt do a character like Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is,
or another
point.
One was like Ed Wood. I mean, that character Ed Wood was phenomenal. But Brad Pitt did something like in The Vampire, when he played with the Vampire with Tom Cruise. That was a fabulous role, and you know, it's like or Benjamin Buttons. I mean, Benjamin Buttons was
Meet Joe Black when he played Death. That was a phenomenal one too. I mean, it's really hard because now you're talking about you're not talking about the Amber Heard C-list actors. Now you're going into high caliber A+ actors. It's like you can go 1-for-1 with roles, and that is the mark of good actors, right? When you look at movies comparatively, and you can honestly say, well, this one did this good, yeah, but this guy did this role. That's what acting used to be. Unfortunately, you're seeing that now.
Can you put up Isla Mello's quote there?
First, I wanted to read the rest of one because this one was first. Said, at Mr. Zod's Fandom Zone, I can definitely say when my husband was threatened by a woman, I went psycho level crazy on her. It's not always a gender thing, but respect.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Excellent point. Well, what's the other comment I'm getting here?
Isa Mello.
Okay, this one.
Now, this is a good point. They are both great in different acting genres, and that's how you would definitely say that. And I think the difference too between Johnny Depp is Brad Pitt was a bigger child star than Johnny Depp. You know, but you know what they both have in common? They're both from the South. Depp is from Kentucky. And that's where he was born. And Brad Pitt's from Oklahoma. So they both have that in common. You wouldn't think that they were both from those type of states, but they are. I mean, that's where they originated from. We're getting
Somebody
some great.
from Texas considers Oklahoma the South?
I'm not from Texas. I'm from New York, my man.
Oh, well, you're
Everything in the
from
South.
Texas right now.
Yeah, no. Let me put it. I'm glad to be living in Texas right now. Let me put it that way. You're getting some really phenomenal stuff here in the chat tonight.
Yes,
everybody has great.
Said Brad guest starred on 21 Jump Street when Johnny was there in season 2 or 3. It was season, I believe, 3, and I remember that because I saw clips and then I went back and watched that episode. Thank you, YouTube, for putting on full episodes, but not really. Anyways, they had an episode, and I looked and I was like, "Is that Brad?" Yeah, Brad Pitt also did Tales from the Crypt. If you guys remember, he had one of the best episodes on there.
The rest
Whoa,
wait a minute. The rest
go
of
ahead.
one says. The rest of one says we need to stop. Lee, pick that rest of one.
Yeah, put that one up.
Okay. We need to stop comparing BP and JT as actors. They've chosen to excel where they can, and they should be applauded for trying to make the world a better place.
We're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're here talking about them and saying how great they are in their own way. We're not comparing them. We're talking about them. I mean, they're legends. I mean, they are just plain old legends. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know if you've seen the most recent Brad Pitt movie. I've watched it 20 times. The one, Hollywood
called?
one. What's that? The
Once
Hollywood
Upon a
one.
Time in Hollywood.
Oh,
I mean, the way. Did you see that, PB?
no, I only watched that last 20 minutes because you said that it was a play off of real life.
Oh, you got to watch that whole movie. Okay, PB has a habit of missing really great movies, but that it was phenomenal. That movie, Brad Pitt, I think should have won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actors, hand down. He was phenomenal in it. Even Leonardo was great in it. Their chemistry together was so good. I mean, what did you think of their chemistry in that movie, Lee?
I think that when I thought of two actors getting together, and you look at Brad and Leo, it doesn't seem, because they seem like different, in their acting styles. But Leonardo has matured over his acting career. And so when I first heard this cast, I was like, I don't know, two buddies or whatever. But then when you see it, it doesn't feel like they're acting, but it legitimately feels like two best friends, and they're just shooting their conversations. That's like the way everything was shot and done. And that's what makes, this is our exact point. That's what makes a great actor, right? Whether it's Johnny Depp or whether it's Brad Pitt, and don't mistake it. They're both great actors, is their ability to be able to bounce off of people, to be able to make this feeling when you're watching their movies, like if they're friends with the character, they've been friends for years, or immerse themselves in the character. And here's the thing, very few actors do that. You don't have a lot of actors that are willing to immerse themselves in a role, to literally become that role. And these guys are those guys. They can take any character, even in a subpar movie, they can be the thing that accepts. Like, I couldn't stand that.
Yeah. Can you pull up Eliza Winter's quote?
Right. Let me go back here. Yes.
Okay. Really big, charismatic, and down-to-earth guys want to throw Clooney's wife, Amal, into this. She is a friend of Amber Heard's lawyer. And you know something? I'm glad you brought this up, because you know why? George Clooney might be the most overrated actor in the history of Hollywood. When you bring up,
yeah.
I mean, you hear George Clooney this, and I challenge people. I say, give me 5 good, really great movies he's made where his acting carried the movie.
How about name me one other person who's more overrated than him? Just one. Name one.
It's hard to do. Harrison Ford? I don't know.
Because, well, I'm a Star Wars fan, so you're not going to get me on board with that one.
No. Okay, Indiana Jones, Han Solo. No.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the current Harrison Ford. You know what?
No, you can't be talking about post-stroke Ford.
Oh, you mean a post flying? You know, the guy that gets into a plane
I
accident.
mean, that would be like talking about Ronald Reagan right before he died when he had dementia. Be like, oh man, he's not charismatic at all. Be like, yeah, but what about 20 years ago?
Yeah, but you know, George Clooney too. And you think about it.
No, he's good at making coffee commercials.
But look at and here's the thing. Take Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt, Keanu Reeves. You know what they all have in common? Very rarely do they just. No, I'm being serious. Very rarely do they talk about politics
or anything really outside.
Yeah,
they don't hit any of those issues.
Or Daniel Day-Lewis. Look at the really great actors. Very rarely do they come out and take sides in politics. Maybe they'll make something once in a while, but in general, they really don't. And that's what I like about these actors. You know, they don't. Johnny Depp did it one time, and he was forced to do it. And he really, when he said about Ford, the actor shooting the president, that was kind of funny. And then the following day, he apologized for it because he felt bad. So, I think that actors that just concentrate on acting and don't get in, they all have to say they're activist. No, you're not an activist. You're a damn actor. You're not an activist.
Yeah, they're using their platform for activism.
Yeah.
Who have we heard that from? Brie Larson. Anyways,
okay, let's not bring up Brie Larson. We're talking about actresses.
He always brings her up. That's how you know that he's on YouTube. It's like, oh, did Mr. Zod say Brie Larson? My ears are ringing again.
The glare. Okay, the glare has been making.
Hold on, I'm going to go with his comment too. The rest of one says, when you see the action and not the actor, I love watching a movie and not realizing it until halfway through, or even the credits, that the actor and actress I love is in it. Very true. And the glare says, if an actor can convince you the character they're playing and they're huge names in Hollywood, that's a great actor.
Yeah. And they just bring up that one with the glare.
The next one down that says Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis wins Oscars like Brady wins Super Bowls. And you know something? Daniel Day-Lewis he may have the greatest acting role in the history of acting when he played in My Left Foot. I don't know who's seen that movie, but that was the most phenomenal acting that I've ever seen one actor pull off a role, was that movie. Did you ever see My Left Foot, Lee?
Yes, I finally did get a chance to see that. I want to know how.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you finally got a chance to remove it from your rectum.
No, we're keeping the pineapples out of this. That's Friday nights. No, I mean,
we're talking about his left foot.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
pineapple, left foot. It's going to hurt either way.
Like what? Like, no, I sat there watching that going, do you know how much time, just everybody in the chat, think about how much time that took for this guy to be able to prepare to get to just act like that, just using his left foot and learning how to play. That is.
But here's the thing. He stayed in character throughout the whole movie. Night and day when he went home, he stayed in character. Daniel Day-Lewis is known for staying in character, But what's funny? He stayed in character as well as Bill the Butcher. That's kind of scary. He left his set and he still was Bill the Butcher.
I wouldn't have talked to him. Jasmine, I want you to know I love Russell Crowe. That guy is an endless source.
How can you not love Russell Crowe?
Just Russell Crowe starting fights for with
Which version though?
Uh,
Which version though? The skinny Russell Crowe or the fat Russell Crowe?
I love both Russell Crowe.
No,
Okay, let's talk-
whichever Russell Crowe is out there whooping ass, because from the way I understand it, in his new movie, he's fat Russell Crowe, but he's beating the hell out of people constantly.
Hey, they should let him, fat Russell Crowe. Wait, they should let fat Russell Crowe play in Gladiator 2.
Oh my God. So it'll be just like Endgame, hey? With Thor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. No, I just want to point something out. That movie Unhinged was a terrible movie. The chick was very unconvincing. I did not like it whatsoever. But when Russell Crowe came into every scene that man was in, when he kicked down a door, and when I looked at him, I was like, I would not want this man stalking me. This is my nightmare. Like, could you picture, okay, just picture you're going down the road, you're driving, someone stopped at a light, okay, you're running late, you beep at them, and it's angry, overweight Russell Crowe, and he looks at you and goes, apologize. I would be like, I'm sorry. I did not know.
Well, here's a tougher question, guys. Here's a tougher question. Do you put Tom Cruise at the same level as Johnny Depp and as Brad Pitt?
No.
Okay,
How
all
about
right.
Keanu Reeves? How about Keanu Reeves?
John Wick.
Ooh.
That's all I gotta say. John MF and Wick. John Wick is like cinema Jesus. Like
Keanu Reeves is not a bigger star than Tom Cruise, but he is definitely a better actor than Tom Cruise, and he doesn't get as much credit as he should. Whereas Tom Cruise seems to get all the credit anytime any of his movies seem to do better than they should. And whenever any of his movies don't do as well as they should, they go, oh, well, this and this and this and this and that and that and that. But it wasn't Tom's fault. It's not because people don't want to see Tom.
You know,
Would you like to come to the Church to Scientology?
Okay, Rebecca makes a good point. Johnny Depp is in a level by himself, but you know something too. If you think about actors, Johnny Depp reminds me of Al Pacino when they're in their prime. Al Pacino was untouchable in his prime, as was Tom Cruise. But Al Pacino has done something that you don't know what Al Pacino
doesn't Al Pacino do Al Pacino in every movie?
No, hell no.
No, I'm talking, doesn't he talk with the same voice, the same inflection in every movie?
No, same voice, yes, inflection, no.
I mean, that's like Christopher Walken is Christopher Walken in every movie. He only plays himself. Michael Caine only plays himself. Morgan Freeman only plays himself. There are lots of great actors out there that only play themselves in movies.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but Al Pacino has played many different characters. I mean, even if he's by himself, I'll give you an example. When he plays Tony Montana, and in one movie, but in another movie he plays the Godfather. He plays Michael. I mean, they're not the same characters. I mean, one is insane, and the other one's more logical. I mean, and even though they're both evil characters and they're killers.
And then you can go to him doing like the Love. What is that movie? Sea of Love.
Scent of Love is Scent of a Man is what a Scent of a Woman. I'm sorry, Scent of a Man. Okay.
Oh boy. Oh, okay.
Okay. Scent of a Woman. Scent of the Woman is Al Pacino when Al Pacino won his Oscar, and that was a phenomenal movie. And then,
I
you
like
know,
what Eliza Winter said because she made a very good point. Keanu is not political enough, which is how we like it. He's very socially
yes.
responsible guy, like Winona.
Yep.
Dude, you're
Yep.
not supposed to be political if you play quarterback for the Washington Sentinels. Keanu fans get that.
You know what?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Robert De Niro was a legend until he became political. Robert De Niro, everybody loved.
Yeah.
But when he became political, he said "fuck." He said "f you" to half of his fans, and this is the risk they make when they become political. You're saying "f you" to your fans. I'll give you a perfect example. Jim Carrey literally destroyed his career by getting political. You know, he lost half his base, half his fans.
I mean, you would think, because I don't know what year it happened, but you might remember what year it happened. What year did they ask Michael Jordan why he doesn't get political? And he gave the greatest answer ever. He's like, because both Democrats and Republicans buy sneakers?
Exactly.
Like, well, are you kidding me?
And then you got Robert De Niro. He's so hateful in his hate. I mean, he's not even like, I'll give you an example. Like some actors are political, but, you know, they're just normal. They're normal about it. Whereas Al Pacino, Robert De Niro is like a mean, he reminds me of a mean 80-year-old man. You know, saying F you and being so disrespectful.
He was more well known for his acting, but I bet if you ask anybody under 25, or the majority of people, not anybody, that's probably a stretch. The majority of people, they would say that he's more well known of his unhinged rants on the internet, no matter where they saw them, whether it was on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media site they were on, and they saw it. They're like, where is this guy from? And someone said, oh, he's a famous actor. And they went, okay.
Yeah, it's like Kiko Sato said. Kiko Sato said, De Niro, 4'6" tough guy. Do you know if you watch him come out of a building and you look at his shoes, he has like 4-inch rubber. This is the vanity.
Oh, he's wearing Rey Mysterio shoes?
Yeah. you know, they say it's so high that people are afraid that he's going to tip over and just fall down. I mean, that's how vain they are. You know,
the rest of one said, at Bigley, I totally agree. Actors taking a stance is a dangerous position because they can alienate half their audience in a second. Jasmine says, that she likes De Niro's bravery and his stance. To me, he still rocks. That's fair enough. Jason Momoa has alienated half of his fans. Yes, I'm not even going to get into that because we've covered the whole BLM thing. I think that was a very stupid thing to come out and say one way or the other. And this is our point, is that actors and singers and things like that, they can have their beliefs, and and you know, they're people. They should. But singers are supposed to have beliefs because great music is created by political stances. I really believe that. The great.
Any of the 70s music. The 70s. Right. Yes, and you know, war songs about Vietnam, and people used to get mad at them back then, but years later, people understood the music because I think a musician is much different than an actor. An actor, you're on screen. Musicians are totally different.
I was going to say, a musician is creating their art from the inside out, whereas an actor is literally being told what to do.
Yeah, I can't say it better. That's a perfect point.
And you know what? I love this point because bam, Edward, I love you too. My man Bono, I don't care what anyone says. I love Bono. I love the fact that this man is such a legend. He went to freaking talk to presidents. Like, he disagreed, and he went to the president themselves and was like, "Hey, let's talk, mate." And they did. Bono, I love Bono. I love Bono. I love U2. I like the fact that he also practiced what he's preaching. He's given away millions of dollars to charities and funds to Africa and things like that, and helping kids who are starving all around the world. And yeah, I have great respect for U2. And I'm sorry, Blair, we're gonna have to disagree. Who's leaving?
Well,
the sweet apple.
Oh, bye. Sorry. We'll see you later.
I noticed it. Pull up for Jasmine Redfeather.
Where?
Okay. See, this is one thing I'm talking about, though, Jasmine. You got it in cap, and you're saying if anybody's going to be alienated for their acting because they speak out against a traitor to all of American people, then so be it. But see, Jasmine, the issue is that not everybody thinks like that. That's what we're trying to say. That's why being politically involved for actors is very, very dangerous, because you lose half your base. I'm not saying whether I agree with you or disagree with you. But
right, I'm told that
I understand where you're coming from.
I'm told the other side of that coin is if you don't get politically involved, if you stay indifferent, it's just as bad as not endorsing. So if they say, "Hey, what do you think about Black Lives Matter?" like a huge blanket question like that, and Brad Pitt goes, yeah, it's a movement that's happening, they'd be like, "Oh, did you hear what Brad Pitt said? He couldn't come out and support Black lives. He couldn't even say that they mattered." They would smear him immediately. So if you don't support their woke causes, there are people that will get offended by that.
Yeah, but there's some actors like Brad Pitt that will come out and say, "I don't get involved in politics." And, some people say that.
Right, so then you just got to be consistent with that, which is fine.
Yes. Right. I have no problem with people being involved in politics or whatever. I think it's a good thing. I have a problem when you go overboard. When you just start getting
Jasmine just got back to you. She goes, "I agree with your point. The caps are a habit. Long story. Not yelling."
No problem. No problem. Nothing but respect, Jasmine. Nothing but respect.
But here's the thing. I want to point this.
Wait, one second. Okay, I'm older than you. I go first. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Pulling the age card. No, it's fine. Pull the age card.
Hey, listen, this has been a very, very bad year, and for everybody involved, and a lot of people believe one way, a lot of people believe another way. And unfortunately, it's not going to stop anytime soon, but it's nice when we can get together here and have a discussion and be respectful of one another, and just respect what other people believe. But at the same time, none of us have the right to start slamming our beliefs down somebody else's throat. Make your statement, say what you believe, and that's that. And don't say, "Oh, you're an asshole," because you don't agree with me. And that's the difference between. And that's the difference.
The dog thought it was funny too.
And that's the difference between politics now. There used to be now it's ugly. People are just being horribly mean and ruthless to each other.
No, if you don't agree with my solutions to the problems that we have in society, you are evil. Because apparently everybody agrees that they have the same problem with homelessness here, and they have the problem with the VA over here. And they go, "Okay, well, how do we fix the problem?" Well, liberals come up with a solution. Conservatives come up with a solution. Libertarians come up with a solution. Progressives come up with a solution. They're all different solutions. And they say, "Well, nobody wants to agree with me." because they're evil.
Yeah,
Yes.
and here's the thing. This is why, and shout out to everybody watching, all 54 people, by the way. I am so glad you are here to see General Parker talk about this stuff. But no, it makes me feel good that I can have your guys' opinions in the chat. And look, as long as you're not crazy, I will never block someone's comment. I will never call you names or call you out. I like when you guys explain this stuff because, look, this is how communication should be. You guys should be able to come on this stream and you guys should be able to engage with us. And we are doing you a disservice if we're not allowing you to speak your piece. And it makes for good conversation. It's why you guys have fun engaging in the chats. It's why we have fun engaging with you. And the sad part about this is, and what we want to highlight in this whole long diatribe, what we want to highlight is the fact that us YouTubers, us three people could sit here and have more tolerance and understanding and listening to your guys' comments than a bunch of people who supposedly you're paying for their products, right? Movies, you pay for what they do, okay? And they will be nasty, not give you the time of day, call you a troll. And that's the whole point. It's a sad state of affairs. If more of these public figures, even if they didn't agree, showed a measure of tolerance to different perspectives, I think it could be a beautiful thing to create wider, open conversation. That's the problem.
Like last week we talked about it, Lee. Hoon Lee, an actor, and he's getting bigger and bigger. He disagreed with me, but what he did is he didn't argue with me on Twitter. He asked me, he said, Lee, can I have your phone number? He gave me a call. And we talked about it. And you know what? I didn't agree with a damn thing he said. He didn't agree with a damn thing I said by the end of that conversation. But we still had a conversation. And that's that. He's my friend, I'm his friend, and we leave it like that. You know?
And that's the essential part that's missing. And that's why I love having these talks with you guys and bringing up this news, because at the end of the day, we've got so many viewpoints, so many opinions. We've had so many great questions and comments from you guys and all of this stuff, which is what makes this environment so nice. It's why people want to gravitate. People want to be able to have conversation. Look, we're social creatures. And what's going on now? The things that I highlight in the media, in Hollywood, in corporate America, Apple, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of these
Coca-Cola?
places. Okay? Coca-Cola. They want to.
Lee, can you pull up Shalana Barbour?
Yes, Miss Shalana, love her.
Okay. No, she says it is. I'm having that problem right now with Brian Luttrell and trying to separate the music from the man and the beliefs I don't believe. That's a perfect example, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I like somebody so much, they're so talented, and then they'll say something. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you just called me stupid. You know, and it's like, you know, and I just spent $12. To me, the greatest comic genius I ever seen was Jim Carrey in his prime. And then, you know, he was making fun of Charlton Heston during the, I don't know if you remember this years back, he was making fun of Charlton Heston, who was a huge actor. And when he did that, he alienated so many people that he never recovered in his career. So, you know, you got to be careful.
That's what happens when you go after Spartacus.
Yeah, you don't go. Yeah, I mean, at Spartacus, Ben-Hur, you know, and no, he was Ben-Hur. Spartacus was
oh, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
But Ben-Hur, yeah, but he was Ben-Hur, and but you know his role. He also, you got to remember, Charlton Heston also played in the original Planet of the Apes as the astronaut. Remember the original Planet of the Apes? Probably the best of all the Planet
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
It was Earth all along.
That, you know what? I want that poster. I'm going to put it right in the back. My favorite, I'm going to say it's one of the top most iconic Hollywood scenes is when he falls to his knees on that beach. And the brilliance of that movie is this whole time you don't know, we know now, but back when it came out, they didn't know where this was shot, what was going on. And then you get that shot of the Statue of Liberty and all of those washed up buildings and stuff. And he falls and says that line. I was like, oh, that's like, that is magical movie making.
Hey, what's the greatest line? Edward Matchett brings up Spaceballs. Spaceballs has the most unforgettable line in the histories of movies. Comb the desert, and they pull out the comb.
I love it. I love it.
That was
No, my favorite one.
I was a little kid. I don't remember how old I was the first time I seen that. And I'm pretty sure I fell on the floor laughing, and I had to go up and hit rewind on the VHS. I love VHS.
Speaking of which, that's my favorite scene.
My swans is bigger than your swans.
Schwartz. It is like,
Schwartz.
I see your Schwartz is bigger than mine.
Schwartz is as big as mine. Lone Star.
My favorite part of that movie was when he was like, wait, what did he say? He goes, I don't know, sir. Let's go rewind. And then he literally can skip the movie and press rewind. I'll tell you, Mel Brooks, man. I was watching the Holy Grail the other day.
Lee, I love you. I love you. I love you, Zod. But when you start laughing and talking at the same time, nothing comes out of your mouth. It's like,
no, it's like he's breathing that Kandorian air all over again.
No, but this has been a fantastic discussion. I really had fun talking about this. And look, to swing it back to the main topic here, I think that with this happening with both JD and Pitt, this is hopefully going to create an environment where we have it being looked at from both ends, because I don't want it to switch the other way too, where now women are having issues and no one believes them. I like a fair balance, can we get an in the middle, right? You can have victims on either side, but don't lose focus at what you're fighting for. Your focus is to protect people from these horrible things that are happening. It shouldn't be politicized by Hollywood. It shouldn't be used as a tool to manipulate people's feelings. Can we just go on facts, evidence, and logic? Could we incriminate people after we have the evidence and not hold kangaroo court and crucify people in the court of public opinion? We need to start being fair. That's what this stream is. Fair.
You know what Amber Heard reminds me of? It's like you being in an alley and you pick a fist fight with Mike Tyson. So basically what Amber Heard did is she's picked a fist fight with Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson of acting, which is Johnny Depp. And if this was anybody else, they'd probably be gone. They'd probably be destroyed. Not many people would have been able to stand up to what came at him. And, and now it's all going to be up to Johnny whether he survives. Whether he survives his addictions and the other issues going on in his life, if he survives those, he'll be fine. That's the only thing now that's going to take him down. The whole Amber Heard thing, she took herself down. And I'll bet you, remember I said this, in 5 years from now, we won't even know who Amber Heard is. She'll be an actress.
Oh, you were generous. I said a year from now. Because here's the thing. They've got the trial at VA. And I'm going to say right now, the trial in Virginia, that's going to be, in Hollywood's mind, what's going to solidify what side that they fall on. And if he loses against Depp in open court, that dog will be tremendously happy. Look at that dog is a true JD supporter right there. Look at that.
Oh, can the dog push you to 60 people watching? There it goes.
Okay.
Boom.
There. The next thing you know, tomorrow, 1 million hits. You bring a dog and you take off. Right?
Dude, people like dogs.
This is Polly. She was an abused dog, and we took her in. She's 8 years old now, and she follows me everywhere I go. I wish I had more women like her. But anyway.
Oh, weird. All of my dogs don't get abused until they come into the house, but they all fucking deserved it. Sorry. That's my one.
Jerry K just dropped Zod at 20.
When did this?
Boom.
What?
Yeah, when you start telling Lee that you sent him money, you're on a whole new relationship.
Not you. They were talking about Zod. God, taking all my.
Sorry, Zod.
Fantastic
magic.
By the way, Cherry K, the awesome mod, just said the Fairfax Court website for all the VA documents is right there. Boom. Go check it out. I'm going to be keeping an eye.
Sorry. Finish, and then I'll ask my question.
Okay, I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. Go.
How many have we watched?
Fairfax what? The Fairfax what? Because it sounded like you said court, and my eyes read county. What is it with you and this fascination with adding the letter R to words?
R, matey.
Oh my God. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Now people are leaving. Yep. Drop below 60.
So I just like to say something. The chances are by next Saturday, Lee will be at 1,000. And so everything kind of changes next week. And, it's kind of funny because I remember when I started with this, with Lee back when he first asked me to come on and PB, and they started way before me. And, remember there was only 2 or 3 people. How many people did you have tonight at one time?
Just about 60, yeah.
The highest I seen was 60.
You got up to 60. Wow. This show on Saturday night has really become very solid. And, because there were shows where we had 30, 40, but it seems like the last month, a little bit, 6 weeks, it's been really, really solid. And we need to thank everybody. What do you think, Lee?
I don't know this Lee fella, but
yes, I'm sorry. What do you think, Sal?
Oh my goodness. I got to see your buddy Lee here. He sounds like a tremendous guy. But as for me, Mr. Zod, no, seriously, and I've said this 1,000 times. I've said this on Rob's stream and with CVJ, but I love and appreciate all of you guys. My whole intention has been to create a space for everybody here to be able to talk. And I want to add more people to that space. And that's my sole reason for wanting to be monetized, is to get the voices out there. We need to have big content creators talking about these things, these injustices, and we need to be reaching more people. And the fact that you guys come here, you watch me and PB, you watch me and Father Zod, you watch me and Bitchy. It means a lot to me. So Villain doesn't get emotional much, but thank you.
Okay. Well, and Villain forgot to tell you that if you go to www.zodsfandomzone.com, you're going to be able to go on there and read this week's new blog. Last week was a blog, and I put a new one this week. The one on this week that we did is on what is expected of you when you reach 1,000 subscribers and you become monetized. There's a procedure that you go through, and people make the mistake of thinking that it just happens easily. And if you're not set up ahead of time, it really will take you 6-7 months. And if you read this blog, it explains to you. And I put this stuff down in the blog. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to pretend that Lee wrote it, but Lee wrote about the
Lee did
blog.
write
You
it.
know this Lee guy
Lee
very
did write
well,
it.
so I got to get Lee as a
No,
ghostwriter.
Zod wrote. But anyway,
Oh.
it's some interesting stuff. If anybody, I'll give you an example. PB probably within the next couple months will be at 1,000 himself. So there's things to do that you have to be ready for. And for one, do not make short videos. Try to make videos at least 20 to 30 minutes or more, because watch time is everything when you finally become monetized.
I mean,
But
it
so-
depends on what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, you could drive for it. We're just waiting for PB to hit a deer while he's driving, as long as nobody's hurt except the deer. And
Oh, it's going to be hurt.
then there's going to be lots of viewers, because viewers like to watch demented stuff like that. But anyway,
That's true.
and every 4 or 5 days we'll do different blog topics, and we're just trying to offer more stuff to people. And Lee's been, we made an agreement that I wanted to help my son with this, Zod, and he has been really, really good, taking advice for the first time in his life from his father, and everything's working out really good.
Well,
Okay,
a villain
moving
has to expand.
Edward
eventual
Michael Beckett says, deers or bears? Well, right now it says it's -4 degrees out, so I would really hope that all of the bears are hibernating and I won't see any for at least a couple months. If I see a bear on the road before it's warm out again, I'm going to be really pissed off.
When you hit this bear, Pete, did you kill it?
Yeah,
You did it right away? It didn't suffer?
as far as I know, I kept driving. I had work to go to.
So there's a chance you're going to so if there's a chance you're going to drive down the road one day and see a bear limping.
I don't know. No.
Okay, you hit it that good. Okay.
No, the bear is most definitely dead. Absolutely dead.
Okay. You know what it is? You know the thing they hit the most here in Texas? Take a guess. Let's see if one of you guys can guess it.
Oh,
Scorpions?
tumbleweeds.
Coyotes. You see coyotes everywhere. I swear these Texans over here, if they see a coyote, they turn toward it and chase it a mile just to hit it.
I know.
You know,
This guy up in
because-
Canada is like, it's -45 Celsius. Okay, now everybody punch it into Google, because nobody in America and,
No,
whatever
what the
that
fuck?
one other country is out there, there's one other country out there that uses Fahrenheit. Nobody knows what that is.
what is? Yeah.
I wanted to
that's-
just get to this for a second. The rest of one, it's partly that good woman that's standing with him at Mr. Zod's Fandom Zone. Love to bitchy. Yes, you guys don't even understand. Bitchy Unicorn puts up with a villain daily. So if there's some kind of medal for that, she is definitely winning it, because the shenanigans, if you guys see me here, I'm no different than I am when I'm off stream. So she has to deal with that all the time. And, it's because of her that I continue doing this. When I first started doing this, detour a little bit, when I first started doing this, and I was in the dojo, and you guys can check out the old videos to see the dojo days. Oh God. The quality was terrible, but she would stand there off to the side at least 4 or 5 nights a week. She would be there watching me stream in the background, sitting in a chair, just laughing as I was doing jokes and stuff like that. She talked about getting a desk and setting up my corner like when we first got in the apartment, she looked and I was like, okay, I'm picking this corner. And she goes, yeah, put your desk right there. So, I mean, yeah, you know, what did they say? Behind every good villain is a beautiful woman. So,
well, let me read this scary thing. Bianca Fights for the Zombie says, I have 666,000 minutes in watch time, still didn't bother getting monetized. Bianca, that's probably because you're rich. But anyway, the scary part is that you used the number 666 in your minutes. You couldn't say 664 or 665 or 667. You had to say 666. So do not mess with Bianca because she talks about 666 and zombies.
Rebecca, you can. If you guys don't know, shout out to Aura of Peace. She's just been great telling people about the channel. We love you. Don't know where she is right now, but yeah, on Twitter.
And Cherry K mentioned the T-shirts. So far, we've sold this week 4 or 5 T-shirts. They're actually going pretty good, and we're not even advertising them yet. Great designs. So if you go on the website, you can also see the T-shirts.
We advertised it last night. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about she's doing it tonight, which is really cool. Where did he go?
Look, he got so flustered. He got so flustered. He's like, I can't take these unprofessional people anymore.
I think a bear grabbed him.
You know, that's not how he's killed. What? Okay, chat. I need this answer. How many human beings will you meet in your life? Okay, just casually passing, anyone you've ever talked to. How many people in your life will you talk to and they bring up hitting a bear like it's normal conversation? Like, oh yeah, I hit a bear last week, and then the following week I hit another bear, flew over my car. No big deal. Just kept on going to work. It's so amazing. I never thought I would ever meet someone where I would have that conversation. And you know what's funny?
Well, you know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about he's going to have the conversation about, I was on my way to work and I hit a human and I just said, the hell with it, I'm going to work.
You're like, hey, what was that speed bump I just hit?
Yeah, I heard a screaming sound.
Oh, he's back. The bear didn't get him. The bear didn't get him.
You have no idea how many times I've had that terrifying thought that, what if I just happened to look down to grab something off the floor, or I'm being that dickhead that's like, oh, someone sent me a message. I'm going to check that message on my phone real quick because I can do it. I've done it before. And boom. Oh, it was just a black bear. Nah, man. That was a person wearing a black coat. Wow, close enough. Like, we're in Wisconsin. They should have been in blaze orange. Don't they know better?
But, PB, it could be a ID channel where you back up and hit your wife and just keep driving to work.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Or she might get you first. Or she
I feel like it's much more likely to go that way because I'm definitely the agitator and she's the agitated.
Well, Geekicidal says, scientists don't worry about beers and climate change when PB is behind the wheel.
That's true. They just listen to the sweet, sweet sounds.
Nice.
And Nitro Gal. Yeah.
Says, I flipped you 20. It will be Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want to, I wouldn't have even brought that up. I don't like bringing up real names on the channel, but thank you so much. And look, I appreciate it. Eventually with this, I would like to create a specific shirt that will go towards charity. So that's what I'm building this up for, because I also too would like to give back a lot more than Amber Heard has. So, that's where
Okay.
ultimately I'd like to go with some of this stuff.
Well, you speak for yourself. I'm building up the shirts to make some money.
Oh my goodness, what a villain! You guys hear
Well,
where I
I'm
get
your-
the quality from? This is Father Zone
yeah.
right here. And if
He
you
wants to-
hear me coughing,
Holy fucking shit! Jesus Christ, dog! Why would you do that?
He hit
Sorry.
a dog. He hit a dog.
oh my goodness. Oh man, this is hilarious. Anyways, everybody, we're getting close to the end here. I appreciate having you guys on this channel. Please go check out all of the great stuff that Father Zod has worked on with the website. It's been fantastic. The link is in the description.
Oh, rest in peace, PB's dog. Did the dog poop on your bed? Papa Lee
No,
spoken
it
like a true
spilt a
YouTuber.
drink off of the table onto an iPad. And it wasn't
that's you drinking.
just the dog. It was a dog and cat combo. And anyone who's been here for a long time knows how I feel about the cat. I'll see the cat next Tuesday.
Well, take it outside and run it over. That's what cats are
Oh
meant for.
gosh, no, we got some.
I'm not murdering the cat. I would never ever murder the cat. I would just find it a nice, happy Asian home.
Oh, well, you can find an Asian home for dogs too. So,
I know they love their animals, nice and
Yeah.
tender.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming. Go check out PopCulturePb. He's got some great videos. None about hitting bears yet, but coming soon. Knowing his luck.
and I put my station. I rested my station because right now I'm working with my son trying to get his station to at a good point.
Walk the dog.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's a great joke. I love it.
Well, you guys take care. I'm going to go do nothing.
All right. Well, have fun with it.
Oh, I'd like to say one thing. I got HBO Max. Just changing the subject real quick. HBO Max sucks. It offers
Yes,
you
it does.
nothing. Why?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it sucks. It's
absolutely.
awful. It's got the same stuff on it that I've seen 2 years ago, and they just changed the name.
They swindled you. I got it from a Russian friend.
My! Showtime's 10 times better than HBO Max, to me. Okay, well,
have a pleasant evening. Don't get lost on your way out of the Fandom Zone. It's a little bit tricky. I don't know how I find my way out of these.
Next week, we're going to do a show on Johnny Depp's top 10 greatest movies. It's going to be like Lee's going to put up polls, and we're going to have a great debate on what are the
He's
10
going to
best
put up
movies.
the polls. We're going to keep Amber away from all of them.
Yes. Yeah. And we're going to have a poll on how long Amber was a lesbian. And probably.
That would be an interesting one.
Okay, but we're going to do. So think about that, people. If you're going to be here next week, if you can list your top 10 Johnny Depp movies, and down the road, we're going to do characters too. But, he's done so many great movies that we're really looking forward to doing it. Right, Lee?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know who this Lee fellow is, but yes, I'm looking forward.
Okay, I gotta go. You guys take care. Have a nice night,
Yeah.
everybody.
And yes, restive one. Before that, we are going to do bat
Restive?
nipples.
Restive? What the? Restive? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What did a villain do? What did?
Oh, that's hilarious. I called you out on it. I've been reading it wrong this whole time. How do you like them
Yeah.
apples?
Yeah, ha! A change.
You know,
Ha
99%. 99%, man.
We're going to do bat nipples tomorrow. So if you guys want to hear me and Bitchy, she hasn't seen this movie in years. I can't wait because after watching Shark Exorcist, I feel like we can watch any movie and it will just be better in comparison. It makes George Clooney's acting now seem like Academy Award winning in that in that genre of terrible movies. So we're going to be doing Batman and Robin review tomorrow. Just bitching. Check us out. Don't know what time, and I'm working that out with Bitchy, but probably about like I don't know 8 o'clock. Yeah, she'll decide that. She's got to work. And also next Friday will be late night talks. Next Saturday we're going to be talking about the best, the greatest, the most epic Johnny Depp roles. You guys are going to decide which role we'll talk some movies over, and you guys will decide which role you like the most. It's going to be tough ones. And yeah, you know, there'll be some more shenanigans. Oh, this Thursday, I'm going to have the rookie critic here in the Fandom Zone. He's going to be talking with Mr. Zod about his channel. If you guys don't know, rookie critic, Black Angus, all of us, we kind of we're doing stuff together. So yeah, Nitro Scale. Yes, hold on a second. I gotta switch devices here. I was actually glad that I didn't give you a wrench just because I didn't want to have your real name or any information like that out there because I don't want, you know, any of that info out there. So here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can wrench you. I got to find your name. You know, it's so much harder on different devices. PB, talk about hitting bears or something while I do this.
No, I'm not going to talk about hitting bears. I thought I was. Oh, God. I just confused the hell out of myself for a moment there because, you know, bat nipples throws you off. I was talking about my cat? What about my cat? Like, it's just. The cat's around here someplace. It's still alive. The cat's safe for now. Like, who knows how long it's the cat's gonna outlive all of us because that's what cats do, man. It's gonna outlive all
right,
these
there we
freaking
go.
dickhead dogs. Unbelievable.
There we go.
I was told to talk about anything.
Oh no, I'm not gonna twerk South Florida. No. Okay. Rob conned me into that because Rob and Gary, Gary with his smooth voice, is like, "Come on, man, just I'm gonna do a little twerk or whatever." And I was like, "Damn it!" So Rob and Gary, they tricked me. Maybe on 1,000th stream, when I reach 1,000, you guys might get a villain twerk. Definitely no pineapples, though. No pineapples. I'm not gonna have that fruit anywhere near me ever after last night.
No, you can only be around pineapples that are already pre-sliced. Not going near any pineapples that still have that hard candy shell. And I gotta answer a question. They said, "What about the dog?" Shalana Barber said, "What about the dog?" All I said about the dog was that all the dogs are probably gonna die before the cat because the cat is, I mean, we're still before 1,000. Lee Cole is gone, so she's a real fucking cunt. So she's gonna outlive everybody. That's all.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so it's been a great stream. All of you fine folks, have a wonderful evening. Make sure you all hit that like button. Go ahead and tweet this out to the world. Let everybody know about a villain. And
what if they're only on Instagram?
And the march to 1K. Let me just tell you guys this much. When I reach 1K, it will be a wild party because look at all of these people that I'm with. I'm going to have a bunch of people on my stream. I'll have Rob, I'll have Gary. Of course, PopCulturePb will be here the whole night because he's going to have to monitor me.
You move your hand around like that. You say, look at all these people that I'm with. There's nobody on screen by your hand right there, guy. Look at all my friends over here on the right side of the screen. Do you see my friends? Look at my long list of friends.
Oh my goodness. And as always, remember the only rule here in the Fandom Zone. You guys know, kneel before General Parker.
Oh my God, you web slinger.